I've been doing savory and sweet stuff at Citizen Cake for a long time, but people just have associated the dessert side with me much more. Obviously, I have a book called Demolition Desserts, and it's all about dessert. But having a second restaurant, Orson is like it's a different audience completely than Citizen Cake. It's just a different crowd that comes here. It allows me to come up with some more dishes that are, I don't know, just a little bit wider audience appeal. Meaning it's a big restaurant. We have to appeal to a lot of people. So we have things that are very classic, like a Caesar salad and a hamburger on the menu. But I want to do it, with a signature stamp on it. And I still do the dessert menu right now too. And so I'm going back and forth from savory to sweet all the time. I picked out the name Citizen Cake about 12 years ago. I was coming up with desserts at the restaurant I was working in called Rubicon, where I would have sometimes music, lyric reference or a film reference, and tweak it around a little bit so it would just sell it. It would sell it better than saying, I was making stuff that you couldn't really say this is a chocolate Napoleon or this is a lemon meringue pie, because they were already starting to turn into more sculptural pieces. So giving it new names or a refreshing new name was much more exciting, like a chocolate tart named Desire or Suddenly Last Summer. And then so I was thinking about a name for the bakery, and Citizen Cake is so perfect because it plays off of Citizen Kane. It conjures up all kinds of imagery for me that's more propaganda-like, and it just seemed to really fit for the original bakery. And obviously I carried that name over to Hayes Valley. And then when we were thinking about the new restaurant, it was like, well, we don't want to call it Citizen something else, because it just gets confusing internally too. But having it linked to Citizen Kane, and then here's a name that you don't even hear that often, Orson. And a lot of people have to kind of think about it for a second. My partner Sabrina and I came across this space. We were looking for a much smaller space to move the bakery production for Citizen Cake. Sabrina actually came in here first, and she said, this place is way too big, but you got to come see it. It's really cool. So as soon as I walked in and saw all of the steel trusses and the sort of shell of the building, I just was like, oh no, we're gonna have to open a restaurant here. Yeah, we'll put the bakery in the back, but yeah, this needs to be a really cool restaurant. And it's a great old historical clubby sort of area. My dad's an abstract painter. He did all the paintings at both restaurants, actually. We built this great bar in the middle of the room, and it's very open above it, and then we have this massive wall behind it that just became our digital wall, where we can pretty much project all kinds of art. It's just, Sabrina and I really wanted it to feel like you were invited to our living room, our giant living room loft party, cocktail party. And that's kind of how it feels in here. It's a comfortable dining room. We have great private dining space upstairs. You can sit at the bar and just have pizza out of our wood-burning oven, or, burger, duck fat French fries, which you kind of can't miss here, with brown butter béarnaise. And it can be, you can have a prefix menu as well. So it's kind of like, it's whatever you're in the mood for. I think I'm mostly inspired these days with textural combinations and flavor combinations that are like, almost like something iconic, or maybe two iconic things. I'll say like the pork dish right now is a combination of what, if I could articulate it, it's almost like the A&W stand, root beer stand meets Asian barbecue. And two kind of foreign things to each other, but lots of different flavors that seem to, I'm thinking about spices and I don't know, just flavors all the time, and trying to find some combination that is different than what you normally see. I also like a little bit of the modern techniques and some experimentation. I always have. As a pastry chef, pastry is so technique driven, and that translates into my savory food too. Some of the techniques that we play with are something that's actually pretty popular these days, called spherification. So on our Caesar salad, we do little balls of Caesar dressing rather than just toss it in the dressing. It's called explosive Caesar salad. You get a little bit of that, and you get a little bit of unflavored Pop Rocks with some Parmesan streusel, two explosions going on. And so it's playing with that stuff is really the fun stuff. I'm always just trying to come up with things that are just really satisfying to me and really, I guess, kind of addictive. I want people to be able to go, God, that was so good, I got to come back for that. So that might be kind of more, I never think that I'm always creating masterpieces, but once in a while I do, and I just love that feeling of just going, oh my God, this is so successful to me, and everybody else seems to be responding the same way. I really consider my role models to be chefs who continue to have the stamina to stay in this business. Any one of them. it is about stamina, and you almost have to treat yourself like an athlete. You have to stay fit, because it's extremely physically challenging, and you also have to, you've got to be a cheerleader for people. You've got to really, it's like, luckily I played soccer for 28 years of my life, so I learned how to be a really sort of big team player. And, when everybody's down about something, economy or whatever, you've got to figure out how to get everybody up and working and selling and having fun with it, and that's when it works. That's how it works. Orson is a really cool sort of South of Market restaurant that it's in an area that's still being developed and really kind of up and coming in San Francisco. It's, like I said, it's kind of historical clubby, so I love that flavor of it being, a restaurant with sort of a clubby scene that doesn't become a disco, but it's kind of a little bit of both. And I'd say that it feels a little bit like New York or Europe, and it's kind of a fun flavor for San Francisco.